Hello. Before we get started with our next episode of VB 411, those of us who work on the show wanted to take a moment and remember our 11 colleagues and member of our community whose lives were tragically lost on May 31st and the 4 who continue to recover. They were our co-workers, our friends, and our neighbors, all united in a common goal of making our community a better place through their work. There are not enough words to convey the loss we as a city have endured, nor to praise the first responders who heroically charged into the building that day. And through the pain and loss, our community came together. We are grateful beyond words for the outpouring of support to the families of the victims and those who work for our great city. Yet even in the shadow of a tragedy, our work as a city must go on. The water flows from the tap, the lights come on, the trash is collected, and so too, our show must go on. Our colleagues would expect nothing less of us. And with that, let's get back to work. Hello and welcome to VB 411. I'm your host, Ms. Information, the know-it-all in City Hall, here again to bring truth and clarity to misconceptions and rumors. The topics of the day are all about our beautiful beaches. Some recent events have people talking about what activities are and are not permitted on our sandy shores. To get us started, there is one thing to keep in mind. Our beaches are all public. That means they are for everyone to use, residents and visitors alike. Now, it's easy to forget that and think they are private property, especially for people who are lucky enough to live right next to the beach. Now, sometimes there are private or permitted events that temporarily restrict access to a certain area. Think music festival or even construction, like the current beach replenishment project. Otherwise, our beaches are for everyone to enjoy throughout the year. So let's get the 411 on what is and what is not allowed. The ultimate goal, of course, is to keep the beaches clean and safe. It all comes down to respect for each other and our beaches. Now, there's a lot of fun to be had along our shores, from a game of beach volleyball or flying a kite to building sandcastles or seeking buried treasure with a metal detector. Just make sure if you're tossing a ball or a frisbee that you do it behind the lifeguard stations so they have an unobstructed view of anyone in the water. And if you find it too hot during the day, it's perfectly okay to hang out at the beach at night as long as there's no fire and you're not planning to sleep under the stars. Now, that said, there are some items and activities that are prohibited on the beaches, parks, or grassy areas as a matter of public safety. There should be no glass containers, alcohol, public intoxication, littering, fires including grills, electric or motorized vehicles except city manager authorized use by disabled persons or authorized by a special event permit, riding horses on the beaches or dunes unless authorized by a special events permit, or sleeping overnight. Additionally, swimmers should take care to stay within 50 yards of the shore and follow instructions of city lifeguards. Please also note that it is unlawful and unsafe to swim within 200 feet of a fishing pier. We don't want swimmers getting caught up in any lines, getting hooked, or near bigger fish who may be baited into the area. Oh, and do keep your bathing suit on at all times, because changing in public nudity, including swimming in the nude, obscene displays, or indecent exposure are all off limits. When you have to use the restroom, please find one. In fact, it's probably a good idea to know where they are before you really need one. At the resort area, there are public restrooms at 2nd, 17th, 24th, 30th, and 31st Streets along the boardwalk. Public facilities are also available at Croatan Beach and Sandbridge. Hours and availability may fluctuate depending on the time of year at all locations. A complete schedule can be found on our website, www.vbgov.com/VB411. And finally, one of the biggest issues that sparked numerous conversations among our residents: dogs on the beach. Now, I need to dispel a recent rumor that's been shared on social media over on Facebook. Chels Lee said, starting Memorial Day into Labor Day, VB no longer has the 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. rule for dogs. The new rule is no dogs at all on the beach, boardwalk, or grass areas. Leash or no leash. It doesn't matter. No dogs from 1st Street to 42nd Street. Now, the short answer is this. The city has not changed the rules about dogs on the beach or the boardwalk this year. The particular section of the city code regarding dogs on the beach was last amended on March 25, 2014 to allow dogs on the boardwalk and grassy area beside it from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Prior to that, dogs weren't even allowed in those areas at all during the summer season. As for no dogs on the beach between Rudy Loop and 42nd Street during that same time frame, well, that's been on the books since Virginia Beach merged with Princess Anne County 56 years ago. In fact, we couldn't find any reference to a rule that allowed dogs on that stretch of the beach at any time during the peak season. So in summary, between Memorial Day and Labor Day, no dogs on the beach between Rudy Inlet and 42nd Street. Unleashed dogs are permitted on beaches north of 42nd Street before 10 a.m. and after 6 p.m., provided they're under the control of their owner or leashed. Now, leashed dogs are allowed on the boardwalk and Atlantic Avenue between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Finally, please note that service animals are exempt from these prohibitions under the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. If you'd like to see the evolution of the city code pertaining to dogs on the beaches, along with links to Animal Control's website and their FAQs about this issue, we've got it all on our companion website, www.vbgov.com/VB411. Simply click on the article about leash laws, and they'll be listed in the sidebar. And now, you're in the know. Thanks for joining us today. Is there a burning question you'd like to have us answer? Well, send me an email to misinfo@vbgov.com and we'll get on it. Thank you. See you next time.